Why isn't this holding? Hold on, let me get something heavier.
Yeah, we already live, brother.
We live?
Yeah, we live, man.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
What's going on, man? How you doing today, man?
I'm good. How you, man?
Hey, never had a bad day in my life. Few bad moments, no bad days, man. You
That's
know,
what's up. That's what's up. How the
that's it.
holidays?
Hey, man, holidays what we make it. I'm not a big fan of holiday ever since I lost my mother, man. Like, and then when you miss like 15 Thanksgiving, 15 birthday, 15 Christmas, 15 New Year's, it's just another day, man. You just, thankful, man. You just thankful. That's it's for the kids, man. It's a kids' holiday now, man. That's how you look at it, man. You
Yeah,
know.
same here. Same here. Same here, man.
So good. What we got, man? What we want to talk about, man? We want to talk about the state of hip hop. What we want to talk about, man? We got the screen. We got 13 people up so far. What we got?
Well, I wanna first. I'm gonna pull a plug. I'm gonna pull a little plug. I got.
First of all,
Mhm.
introduce yourself. Hey, folks, everybody already know this is my platform. I am the one they call Brian Glaze Gibbs. This is my ministry. I talk about the good. I talk about the bad. I talk about the ugly. Right now, who I got joining me is BK Cashmere. BK Cashmere is an artist. Right now, he's a rap artist. So the difference is right now, me and him go back and forth about different things. And you know what? It's a gap. I'm 91, so he's way younger than me. But we talk about the gap in the hip hop community and what we remember about the hip hop community supposed to be. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
It's your boy BK Cashmere. I'm coming straight out of Brooklyn, East New York. I'm a hip hop artist. Been K Slay, DJ Enough. They brought me in the game. My boy, my ex manager Hood and stuff like that. From Manhood, y'all might have known me from that. The Smack DVDs, the Come Up DVDs, all mixtapes. DJ K Slay mixtapes. Been on Hot 97 hundreds of times. All types of stuff. Source Magazine, Double XL. I'm BK Cashmere, East New York's finest, and I'm here doing this interview on the state of hip hop with Brian Glaze Gibbs. How y'all doing today?
Okay. We already got a few people. Donald Duck, what's up? Villain Records, how you doing? Peace to the nation of gods and earth. Why Sid, hello. Villain Records say Cashmere used to be one of my favorite rappers. Lots of laugh. Okay.
Shout
Villain
out to
Records.
Villain Records, man. I appreciate that.
We got Carly Campbell, hey, from the UK. Like I said right now, is like to me, bro, like sit back and think about it. Like, why? I remember right now when I was coming up as a kid, you know what, with rappers was like they used to get their DJ equipment. And right now, anybody that was a rapper or that had any type of talent, they used to go to the park. And everybody used to have that feel-good music, man, to go to the
Yeah,
park and have a jolly good time. What happened?
yeah.
How the heck the rap community went from having a good time to being a rapper? It's like an endangered species. They getting murdered.
It's like it's a lot going on in hip hop right now. You got Young Dolph just passed. You got Slim 400. Rest in peace to Slim 400. We used to have the same barber in Compton. Used to go shout out to Black the barber out there in Compton, off of Alondra, right next to Mom's Burgers. You know, just rappers come like a dying breed, like a battlefield, like a war ground. I say due to the gang to gang violence and stuff like that. Personally,
Okay. But even right now, like you say, so to me, you mean to tell me right now is what used to be fun, what used to be like for pleasure, now is like, how did the gang get caught up into that rap culture? How did the gang, as far as that gang life, get caught up into executing one another? To me, I understand words. Only thing they spitting is words. So how the
yeah.
heck they go from spitting words to blasting one another?
I think the internet is a big cause of it, and I'm gonna say specifically because of like before the internet, it's like every city, let me say that, had their like own identity before the internet and before rap kind of like the South kind of took rap. And I'm gonna say, like, when you go to the internet, you see like California, like gangs started being predominantly. I'm don't quote me on this, but I'm gonna say like in the mid '90s, maybe early '90s or something like that, as far as Bloods and Crips and stuff like that. So I think like with the internet, people got to see a lot more of that, and then, like right now, you know, New York is sort of like kind of like taking on the California street life. I lived in California for a long time, so there's a whole different vibe out there than New York. But at the same time, it's like the gang culture is like really migrating here in New York, and it's like a whole different world from when I grew up. quoting after you guys, like, you know, guys that I grew up after watching and stuff like that. Like, you know, it's just a whole, it's just like a whole different vibe. Like, it's like a gang culture in New York that's really like, you know, took over and really like changed things. And it's like, it's not really over nothing. New York, we was hustlers. We was like, you know,
But
hustlers, city slickers. But now it's like, it's a gang culture that's like,
okay,
you know, if
but
you messing with, if this is my side and that's your side, then we gotta bang out on each other and stuff
yeah,
like that.
okay, but even right now, the murder is not okay. The murder is happening everywhere. But what I'm saying from that rap industry, like I said right now, is most of these guys getting killed in their hometown. Like, you know, you talk about, you know, saying the brother that just got killed at the concert, he got stabbed in his neck. That's a hell of a way to go. Then you talk about them
Yeah,
saying like Slim 400, he got shot in California in his driveway. You talk about young Dolph, he got shot and murdered coming from a cookie store. So you
yeah,
start talking about right now is even right now is only person we know is the brother right now from Brooklyn, Pop Smoke. He got smoked in California. But right now, it's like, so what I'm just trying to say is even when we talk about New York and gang culture and everything like that, I want to make sure everything tied together and get a better understanding. Because when I was coming up as kids, they had gangs. They had the Tomahawk, they had the Hellcat, the Jolly Stomper, but all that stuff went away. So to me, like right now is when people start looking at it, where did that gang culture and how did the blood and Crips came to NYC in the first place, but not just
I
NYC.
see
It's like
all over
right
the
now,
world.
all over the world now. So to me,
Yeah.
even right now, don't get it twisted. I got on red. You know what I'm saying?
I got
Period.
on blue.
But the bottom line, I'm not a
And we
blood.
didn't plan. I didn't plan
Yeah,
it.
I'm
So
not a
yeah.
blood, you're not a Crip. But in the same
Right.
token, what I'm trying to do is how do we get back to right now when we talk about is hip hop in the state of emergency? Because how do we get back now and get them to understand? Like when I hear hip hop, I'm thinking about, you know, saying Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. You know what I'm saying? Spoonie G. Yes, y'all. A Spoonie G, y'all. See you rocking, you're rolling, you rock. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. Rap.
Yeah.
Not right now. Run DMC. You know what I'm saying?
I
I'm
mean,
the
we always emulated from the street culture, but now like rap is like became street. It's like you can't have a battle. That's why I respect the battle rappers. You know what I mean? Shout out to Math Hoffa too. He got a nice show going on. You know what I mean? The barbershop joint and everything. You know, but like that's why I respect the battle rappers because they could say personals, do all types of things. They coming from an element of hip hop to where they could say personals, diss each other, say whatever, and then at the end of the night they give each other a handshake. You know what I
okay.
mean? Or you could catch them squabbling, but when it's like when you got a corporation backing it, you know, and it's money involved and it's business involved and it's how to feed your livelihood and kids and stuff, which I don't agree with it. I think that we all should come together. It becomes a whole another battlegrounds. It becomes a whole nother warfare, and people is really taking it to the streets. So nowadays, when you diss a rapper, you got to worry about your life being taken. You
Okay.
understand what I'm saying? Nowadays, which is terrible, which is horrible. You know, if you ask me, that's just terrible. It's just stupid. And I feel like right now, hip hop is in a state of emergency. Jim Jones said it's probably like the most dangerous job in the world right now, being a rapper. So
Okay, but once again, like I said, I'm trying to get the understanding how they went from having fun, how they went from right now, Grandmaster Flash and them talking about, you know, saying social awareness, getting people to understand about police brutality, getting people to understand, even like to me, what I'm looking at right now, what I'm starting to see, it become like that song that came out with what self-destruction. We headed from self-destruction. Even Kumo D, he said, I never had to run. You know what I'm saying, from the Ku Klux Klan. So why should I have to run from the black man? Just in case
absolutely
you hear
right.
me, Kumo D said it best. I never had to run for the Ku Klux Klan. So why? Most of the rappers are what? Brothers.
Brothers.
There was a few sisters. So the bottom line, like he's saying, is I never had to run from a black, you know, from the Ku Klux Klan. So why should I have to run from the black man?
Black man.
So to me, that's the problem. How do we get people going back to the basic music, words? Sticks and stone may break our bone. Words should never hurt us.
Yeah. But they hurting and killing us nowadays. So, you know, I think rappers gotta be more careful of what they speak, gotta be more clever. They gotta we as black people as a culture gotta come together and stick together more often. Like look at our family structure. It gets deep. Look at our family structure. How many people how many people and where we come from, how many fathers you see in a household, how many families we got that's whole. So it runs deeper than just rap music. It runs on we being raised like a lot of boys are being raised by women, and they got their the emotions, you know what I mean, raging as they come outside and stuff like that. And there's a lot of hell going on out there. So it runs deep than just music. You got to look at our upbringing as a people, period. You
Okay.
know.
Even when you talk about look at our upbringing, and don't get me wrong, like I said right now, is guess what? Most of us was raised by a single parent or single mom, and that's why I always try to say it's very important to have both parent in the household, or
Very.
even now co-parenting, because once again, guess what? That is needed, especially these days in time. But what I'm looking at is this, right? How can we get these guys? Because at one point in time, we was talking about drill music. Like to me, I don't even quite understand it. What the heck is drill music? And to me, where all this stuff is coming from and how it's getting so explosive and spreading like wildflower, not just it's all over around the world. So we're not just centering on a New York metropolitan area. We speaking
Right.
about all like the
All around the
United
world,
States.
even in London, everywhere,
Yeah,
everywhere
all
it's
over.
being big, all over. I mean, drill music is a type of music that came from Chicago, and you know what's going on in Chicago. It's a lot of gang violence in Chicago, a lot of shooting, a lot of killings, and you know, like New York kind of took on that music and gave it a twist and stuff like that. And it's like, I go back to the internet. Everything is so migrating. When you look at the internet, you touch the world. You don't touch everything, and then everybody's arguing over the internet. Everybody's saying crazy things over the internet. They talking about dead people on the internet.
Okay.
They just it's a lot going on. That you know. Luckily, I was raised by my grandmother and grandfather, and I know my mother. I was raised by my mother and my father, even though they were separated as well at a young age. My father was young, but I was taught better to know better. But a lot of these kids out here don't got that. You know what I
Okay.
mean? They don't got that. You know, they really don't got that. But the drill, what you say with the drill scene, it was a very it's a big genre of music right now, and it's a very influential genre of music and hip hop, and everybody's following that scene, and everybody's following the lingo of what it represents.
Okay, but even with that, like I said right now, first of all, hey Janine, thank you. Rapper need to change their style and come together and celebrate each other. I think that's huge. Shout out to OG Sonny Blanco, all being born to the culture freedom. Villain Record, Peace OG, Black sticking together. That's true. You know what I'm saying? DVE. First to let a rhyme flow with down and out. Love of ignorance has been our downfall for quite
For
some time. So did you see this? Like I told you right now, very,
yeah,
very interesting point, very powerful point. Because once again, even right now is when I start seeing what's going on in some of these individuals. Like even right now, when you talk about the young Dolph coming from the cookie store, but yet and still you got beef with these guys over what? And what I'm trying to say is like you sit back and you look at it, a brother getting stabbed at the concert, stabbing his neck. What part of the game is that? Not only that, like certain little things that you see. When I was coming up, we didn't have this social media. We knew things, but we
yeah.
don't know it like we know it now.
Now, yeah,
Social media and everything, the information is right there at your fingertip. Only thing you have to do is pick up one of these smart devices. Everything is right there. So what you sit back and you
right.
think of it right now is we are so aware of what's going on. We don't have to be there, but we are there anyway. Even I seen an incident, these young guys rush a funeral parlor doing a wake and dragging out the casket, you know, with a dead body in it and dumping the body on the street. What part of the game is that? Is that part of drill music?
Uh, I, I don't think you could blame all of that on drill music,
I
but
don't know. I'm just saying. But to me,
I just think us as a people, period, is just not. We just not together. We just don't got it up here right now, and it comes from years and years of trauma. Probably go back to slavery and stuff like that. Us as a people, people of our color and our skin, even for me, like I love my people to death, but we just got to do better as a people and come together as a whole. It's crazy out here right now. It's,
okay.
it's getting it's getting it's getting wilder than it's ever been in different ways, in new ways with the internet and everything. It's like it was wild back then, but it was certain boundaries that you couldn't cross, certain things you couldn't do. And if you did that, you wouldn't be cool, and you'll be checked, and you'll get chastised by the OGs. Like when I was coming up in a certain, like I think I was probably last. I caught the last era of that. You know, when I was coming at, I had OGs to tell me like, yo, that ain't cool, that ain't right. Nowadays, these kids is like, we not listening to you. It's our turn now. Get out the way. They don't want to listen to nothing or nobody.
Okay.
So it's a whole different world we living in now. You know what I mean? I would say that it's a whole different world, man.
Even with it being a whole different world, like right now, is how do we stop the idiotic behavior? How do, like, even right now, I came up in an environment, whereas two things you don't do as kids, as young boys, two things you don't do. You don't talk about somebody's mama, and you don't invite another man to your private part. I'm seeing like that's the norm.
That's the norm now. That's the
Why?
norm.
Because
People
where I
saying,
come
you
from,
know,
that's like a death penalty. You
yeah,
want
that
to get
was
your
you'll
head taken
die
off.
after that. But that's why so many people are dying, because stuff like that is happening normally. You know, and then you ask, what do we need? We need more leaders. We ain't got no leaders. You know, that's why I try to step in and do the things I do for my community and try to do what I got to do and try to lift people up. Even though I come from the same thing, but I learned from a lot of my mistakes, and I learned a lot from other people's mistakes in order to try to uplift my people, try to show them it's a better way to do things, to get things. There's so much opportunity out there with the internet, with having your own business. There's so much more opportunities than when I was growing up and stuff like that. It's like a lot of opportunities out there right now that they're not taking advantage of because they want to do what they think is cool. But later on, you're gonna realize what was cool and what's not. And people like me that went through that, people like yourself as well, that went through what you went through, we gotta uplift them and show them a better way. Show them we don't got no leaders. We ain't got nobody talking for us. We ain't got nobody really representing us nowadays, to be honest with you. You
Hey,
know?
like I say, even going to the comment, like, you know what I'm saying, like Janine Jones say, that's the problem right there, social media. Do you think social media is the big problem or the biggest problem? Because I think social media have been both a blessing and a curse. Because the
Yeah.
bottom line is right now, social media give an introduction to people that want to be out there and
Mm.
promote their business, and you cannot play for marketing. Now, social media, if you put it out there the right way, is a heck of a marketing tool. Even right now, like to me, I'm looking at it with social media. There's no way in the world that nobody should be out there without a job. Only way a person is not working because they don't want to work or they just lazy. They just want something for nothing. Not understanding it's not something for nothing. So don't get me wrong. I agree. Social media can be both a blessing and a curse. It all depends upon whatever you put into it. If you put positive energy into social media, you should receive positive energy back. If you put negative energy into social media, you're going to receive negative energy back.
Yeah, and that goes with anything in life. You know, once you understand that, like, that goes with anything in life. Once you positive begets positive, negative begets negative, negativity. It breeds it. So you just gotta choose which one you want to do. You know, I chose positive, so I'm blessed to know better, to do better, and hopefully, my example that I'm setting help the kids that's doing what they doing, or come out of whatever situation they got going, or whatever bad situation they got going on, because there's a lot of bad going on right now. Some good, like you said, social media is a gift and a curse, but the way these young kids doing it, you can see that, they lack guidance. They lack know-how. Nobody's born bad. You know what I mean? I think that you taught that. You
So
see that. You know what I mean? You know?
So even right now, where it's okay, cool. Even you a rapper, okay?
Right.
So you aspiring, you up there, you out there, your music out there, you drop things or whatever. Speak about that. Like, what type of music are you promoting? So even the music that you're promoting, why is not coming like for people to come at you looking for you with guns and King Von and right now with Slim 400, a young Dolph. Like, what is the difference between your music and their music that more or less right now got these guys want to attack one another?
I stay focused, and then I spit I try to spit things. I try to tell my message. I got a message to where it try to tell people this where I came from, but I'm not. I'm trying to get out of that. I'm getting out. I got out. I actually got out of that. You know what I mean? Like this where I came from, but I got out of that. But I didn't just get out of that physically, because I couldn't get out of it physically if I wasn't there mentally first. You understand what I'm saying? These guys got to change their mentality on how they look at life. If you change your thoughts, you could change your whole world. You understand what I'm saying? If you think positive, you're gonna get positive, and things ain't gonna happen overnight. So my music speaks life into people. It's speaking light. It's not speaking darkness. Like I try to put a positive message. Even if I start off with I was doing this, I was in the street selling drugs. Yeah, I got locked up before, I got shot before. But at the end of the day, I tell them I learned from all the mistakes, and this is where I'm at today. I'm not trying to stay there. Like you don't have to keep that mentality. You ain't gotta be cool. Stop worrying about what everybody else think about you and trying to be cool for everybody else. You ain't got to do that. Focus on yourself. Find out who you are, and then take it to where you want to go. You know, you gotta have positive thoughts. You gotta have positive people around you, because your circle is gonna, even if it's not you now, it soon will get you. Your circle will hurt you. You know, your circle is very important. The people you hang around, the people you listen to, the people, the energy you involve yourself in, that's very important. So my message is trying to uplift people and pull people out. It's always been that way since I started. Even though I probably wasn't as uplifting as I am now, but it's always been that way to get my people out the hood. It's still that way. Like I try to be a leader and an influential person in my neighborhood every day, and everybody around my neighborhood will tell you that.
Okay. Even right now, when you say the circle and you may mention that word, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but Hashan Campbell came to my mind. Like, be careful of your circle because your circle will hurt you or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's very powerful, and that's very true at times, man. And the difference is, like I say, is even now, like I told you, most of these rappers, like I'm just being honest, like it's a lot of stuff I am so out of the loop with. Like I don't even if people can put a song, I don't know. Because I'm so old school, man. If it's not old school, I don't really listen to that new stuff or whatever. And that's why, like I say, when I talk to people and they start telling me about different things and all the stuff that's going on and trying to get a better understanding, it is totally, totally different, man. So the objective is like right now is like, what can you share? You know what I'm saying, to the audience right now is like, because to me, like what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build. And what I'm trying to build is with the BGG movement, it's best to give and receive. How do, I got like, 53,000 people on YouTube. How do we get back? How do I use that platform to get people like yourself, upcoming inspiring rapper, that's speaking the truth, speaking positive, doctors, businessmen, like different people to come up and finance advisor. Like, how do we get together and build and share as far as like a powerful, positive message, opposed to, suck my wee wee or F you or your mama this or whatever. It's like, how do we get back? Like giving people life. Listen, man, here it is. We can be anything that we want to be. Right now, we can show you how to go out there and apply yourself, to take care of yourself, how to be healthy, physically, mentally, how to build up your bank account, how to build up your finance, how to avoid making that multi-billion-dollar prison system your permanent address. Stop taking shortcut. That's the difference. Like, building the right community.
Mm-hmm. I would say by one thing is by doing what we're doing now. That's why I'm up on this platform, because I see what you're doing and I know where you came from, even though I'm from two different generations from you. But you from my neighborhood, and I was hearing about you in my neighborhood back then and all of that, growing up as a little youngin', 5, 6, 7 years old. But I think by doing what we're doing now, and not only that, by leading by example, and also by going out there and touching the people and showing them that you was once this and now you're that. You got to give them hope. I know I give my neighborhood hope, and not only just hope, but sometimes that hope you give, that hope that you give, you got to be careful, because where we come from is wolves. It's people that don't like to see you doing good. It's people that don't, and you got to even grab them people up and try to tell them like, yo, it ain't easy, but you got to lead by example, and you got to show them that you here to uplift them and that you mean it genuinely. You know what I mean? I mean it genuinely. Like, I just want to see my people win. Even people that don't like me, even though I don't know what you like me, but you know what I mean? Like, I just want to see people win. I love to see people win. I don't care if I got $20,000-$30,000 and you got $1 billion. I love it. I love to see it. I need to be inspired, just like you need to be inspired. So I think we got to lead by example, and we need more leaders. We need more people showing these kids and kids that's younger than me that listen, it's a whole lot of ways. There's a whole lot of ways of going about things. Like, everybody want things fast. Everybody want things fast, but you know, if you 17 and you work on something for 5 years, I keep saying this is my third time saying this in all the joints that I did, but if you work on something for 5 years and you stay at it and you focus and you put a plan together, you're gonna be more all right than busting your gun and selling drugs and doing this and that. So, you know, just use this and change your thoughts. Stop thinking negatively. Stop thinking that bad things is gonna happen, and know that good things is going to happen, and accept the bad just as well as you accept the good, because the bad is better than the good. Sometimes you get a lesson out of the bad that you would never get out of the good. That when good things happen, you like, all right, good things happen, you get excited. But when bad things happen, people feel like, oh, the world is over, and the world ain't over. It's a lesson in that blessing. So accept the good, accept the bad, just like you accept the good.
Hey, positivity said it all. We need to stop worshiping others and be ourselves and help our community. People pay million to keep us down.
Yeah.
Like I said right now, is when I realized people pay million to keep me and my people down, it made me work harder. So
Yeah.
a lot of that stuff, Shanti D, how you doing? Shout out. But folks, like, look at that, man. And to me, that's the difference, man. It's like a mindset, man. It's
Right.
like understanding that we are better than what we are.
Way
That we
better.
deserve better. And a lot of times I think we are trapped. And sometimes right now is even with you, me being brothers. Like, you know, I remember when we first started, like, you know, communicating and going back and forth, and some of the things that we talk about.
Yeah, we've been
And the
talking for
different,
like 6-7 months. So you
yeah,
know what I
but
mean? It's
the
our
difference
first
is,
encounter and
if you
stuff.
sit
So
back and think about, hey, if you talk about different things, it's all about what we need to do to keep pushing forward. Like, because I'm funny. If the first impression is the lasting one. So if you was about negativity or nonsense, we wouldn't be on this platform now. You know, because once again, I can tell what direction somebody's going in. And when I look at a lot of times, I see people, whereas like from the past, because even now I watch and I see, like, you know, even like my life is not hip hop, but my life is from the street. And when I start seeing people that, you know, people that's, you know, related to you, trying to slander you, trying to dog you, and you know what? Sometimes you got to look at it and laugh and pray.
right.
Because once again, like I say, I look at back then between the age of 14 and 24, I was a devious individual. And my mindset back then was totally different. Everything, like, I was so sensitive. And that's
Right.
why I think some of these rappers are very sensitive, because
Right.
you say certain things to them and they ready to react, because we was not accepting any type of form of disrespect.
Disrespect. Yeah.
But once you got true identity of yourself, you got to respect yourself enough and learn
No.
how to walk away. Because once
That's where
again, you
I'm
got to
at.
ask yourself, when if I do this, what is my outcome going to be? So right now, it's like I always try to tell people now, as long as people talking about me, that mean I'm doing something good. When they stop talking about me,
That's
that
when you need to
mean I'm
worry.
not doing something.
Right. Right. How do you, I want to ask you a question. How you deal with how you deal with like going through everything you went through, and you know, like the stigma that people look at you, and how you get out of it, how you was able to finagle and get to where you at today.
You know what? Like I say, it's coming. Like what you have to do, man, search for meaning. Those that have a purpose to live can cope and deal with almost anything. And what I had to do is I had to come to grip with myself and understand what made me who I was. How did I became that individual that these folks look at me like a madman, like a crazy person, whatever. Yeah, I have problems. And a lot of times when you have problems, if you don't address those problems still going to exist. Right
Exactly.
now, I used to be addicted to the penal system. I used to be addicted to fast money. I used to be addicted to girls, 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 girls. Come shout and clap your hand. I used to be addicted to that. But the difference is what you had to do is you had to ask yourself, was that addiction more important than my freedom? Was that addiction more important than my state of mind? Were those addiction more important than my present, my being, my peace? So once I was able to understand and gather true identity of self, I was able to put all that negativity and nonsense behind me and get the healing and get the help that I needed upstairs. Because once again, folks, you have to cleanse yourself. You have to fast. You have to pray. And you have to get all that demonic spirit and that negativity out of your life once and for all. Because if you don't do that, guess what? You're stuck. You're trapped. Hey, peace, Professor. Blank Brennan. We have to create our own network and develop them into a community, unifying our resource, own land, and educate financial literacy. You're right, man. You're right.
Yeah, he's right. That's right about that. I want to speak on that because we always worry about what the government is doing for us and what quote unquote white people, because I love all people, but that's what they say, quote unquote white people, what they doing for us and why we down when we some of the most powerful people in the world. Why don't we get together and create our own thing? And I think that's what's hindering us the most. You know what I mean? As far as black people, as far as people from the hood in general, like we need to come together more and create our own thing and stop worrying about everybody else.
But no, we too busy stuck. And like I say right now, I don't want nobody to take this the wrong way. We too busy. We want our 40 acres in
you
the
gotta
mule.
keep it real. You gotta
keep it straight. We want our 40 acres in mule. What is done is done. You know what I'm saying? Period. And that's the difference. A lot of times when we look at it, people owe. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. Right now, guess what? As long as they owe you, you won't go broke. The difference is right now, you got to get out there like, you know what? I'm starting from scratch, man. When I got out, I had to start all over again. I had to hustle. And that's the difference. And that's why I look at when I see certain people that was part of my life that stuck. They didn't change their mindset. They didn't change their attitude. They still stuck in that negative mindset. They still want something for nothing. They don't want to go out there and punch a clock in a 9 to 5. So guess what? They're like these rappers. They just want to rap their way to a check. They just want to rap their way to fortune, to fame. And the difference right now is this. What good to have it? Even from the street life, from my perspective, what good? We did all that stuff. We did all that nonsense. We got all that money, all the jewelry, all the clothes, all the cars and the places in the house. And what right the bottom line for what? Was it worth it? Because right now, most of us back then, we wasn't financial literally smart and know what to really do with it. So easy come, easy go. And even with that, I had a type of power. Was I happy? Nah, I was not happy at all.
So what I'm gonna ask you another question. What is that's interesting? Like you getting out, like you said, you had to get out, you had to start all over, and coming from your background and stuff like that, and you getting out, and then the way you got out, people criticizing the way you got out, like how you handled that, how you took on that matter.
Okay, what you got to understand is nobody gonna beat you up harder than you gonna beat yourself up. You know, because once upon a time, when you think you something and you think you're about that life and you're about that, then guess what? Then you got to deal with what, like the outcome. Even right now, when I say, you know what, I'm not doing this no more. I'm not spending forever and a day in here. So even when I did that, I had to go through, like, you know, say a soul searching. I had to go to like come to a true understanding. And right now it's like vomiting. Oppose you spit in the commode, you swallow it. That's gross. But that's the term that I had to accept and deal with. So to me, once I done beat myself up enough, and then you know what? Life goes on, man. Only thing right now is like I'm not mad about making a deal. What I'm mad about is putting myself in that predicament in the first place. Because once again, I'm looking at where I'm at now. And I'm saying to myself, if I would have done that, what I'm doing now, working 9 to 5, taking care of business, being a law-abiding productive citizen, if I would have did that since the beginning of time, doing it right the first time, I would never have got caught up into that BS in the first place. See, people think the street life is easy. Man, like I told you, it's cutthroat. It's more devious. than anything that you would ever deal with, because everybody pretend. When we was in the street, everybody was actors and actresses trying to win an Academy Award for Best Actor, Best Actress. And that's it. So everybody pretend to be, I love you. You my friend. You my man. You my brother. You my sister. So the difference right now, once you got understanding, like nobody really give a damn about you. So when you understand what you've been up against and all the bad and devious act that you committed over what, it was all in vain, then you wake up, man. You wake up and you smell a coffee and you count your blessing, because once again, I look at it right now, who am I now? Back then, I hated young Brian Glaze Gibbs. I hated him. But the difference right now, I love me some me now, because it's not how you start, it's how you finish. I went back to my original teaching and the upbringing. When you know better, you do better.
Right. Okay. I asked you that because first, because Pete, that's what you know, it's hard coming out and getting that type of criticism coming from where you coming from. And then also, you know, I look at it like a lot of people ain't do the things you do. They wasn't as certified on the streets as you. You know, I was hearing about you at 5, 6 years old. But also a lot of people haven't been in the situations you've been in, on the streets and off the streets and in prison. Like, you know, facing what you was facing, you know, the death penalty, natural life in jail. And, you know, I asked you that because you know, people don't know what they're going to do until they in certain situations, you know, whether they say it or not. You know, everybody is who they are. You know, I faced a situation, not like yours, like a tenth of yours, like where I was facing 10 years in prison. And, you know, I had a co-defendant and I didn't snitch. I wanted to stick to the code, and I try to stick to the code to this day. But I've never been in a situation like how you've been in, and I would never want to get into that situation, knowing what I know now, and knowing that, you know, the streets is a trap. The streets is what you're speaking right now is gospel. So I understand that, you know, but I also understand the guys in the streets. So I asked you that because you was in situations that 90% of the guys in the streets ain't in.
Okay.
Or
But
never
you know
is
what?
gonna be in. So,
But
you know,
but but you
and how you accept the talk and the bullshit. You understand what I'm
but the
saying?
different, because it's the different, the talk and the BS is different, because the fact is a lot of times right now is it's like the social media, everything at the fingertip. I got a lot of people that gonna type stuff and say stuff on the internet, you know, right now. But when they see me, when I still walk the streets of New York City, when I still walk through Brooklyn, Manhattan, Bronx, Queens, whatever, they're not gonna say nothing to me. When they see me, these same individuals that using fake names on these internet is the same one. When they see me, you know, I don't even be knowing most of these cats, but they come running up. You know what? But see, to me, what you got to understand, you're right. I allow myself to become something that I wasn't. But in the same token, it's like right now is, am I gonna let somebody come up to me and like, you know, hey, say something slick or try to hurt me? It's like I don't live like that. But in the same token, certain things are still there. I don't even try to put myself in that predicament. That's why sometimes when I hear people talking about, well, you can't go here. Who's gonna stop me? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, who's gonna stop me? Like, what you forget is this: despite I don't live like that, it's certain things you just don't forget. And see, everybody keep talking about the alpo situation. Oh well, you know, you next, or this gonna happen, or whatever. When? Let me know. See, and that's why everybody keeps saying, "Well, you can't go here."
You've got those type of
You read those. You
situations.
read comments, like even on you read comments, or you hear different things. But like I told you, everybody saying, "I'll be in New York," so it's no different. But in the same token, I don't try to set myself up. I don't try to get caught up into that, because once again, when you was a child, you act as a child, you thought as a child. But when you become a man, you put away all childish things. So at this present time in my life, where I'm at, in the direction I'm in, I don't even set myself up. But the difference is when you come from, you know what? In order for somebody to get you, they got to come at you. And the difference is, I suppose, oh, get out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, like despite I am not living like that, certain things are still there. You ain't gonna never forget how to defend yourself. You're not gonna never forget how to protect yourself under any circumstance. But even right now, like I say, to me, I don't try to put myself in harm's way. You know, because if you're gonna put your head in the lion den, then you set yourself up.
It might get better. Good answers, man. Good answers, man. Good joint. I appreciate that. Yeah.
But like I say, to me, still trying to understand as far as like with this hip hop in the state of emergency, like what need to be done. Like even right now is, let's go with, saying Pop Smoke. What could have prevent Pop Smoke from that happened to him in California some years ago?
I would say it goes back to your circle and the people you're around. You gotta when you moving like that, you gotta really protect yourself. And sometimes I think when it's your time to go, it's your time to go.
Okay.
Especially sits on type of situations you've been in or what you've done in your past and stuff like that. And you gotta do sort of like what you're doing. You trying to create a whole new you. And you gotta do that. You gotta do that when you coming from where we coming from, because you can't do the things you do. You can't go chill in front of the building, you know what I mean, in Plaza or Cypress all day, and you got jewelry on and you got money in your pockets. These guys don't got that. They're striving to get that. So you looking like a piece of meat to them. You know what I mean? And they want it. So I would say you gotta with the Pop Smoke situation, you gotta change your circle. And it looked like he tried to do that by moving to California, but I guess it followed him. And you just gotta change your circle. Maybe he tried to change it too late. And he was a great talent, a great talent. I
Right.
love Pop Smoke. He was doing a lot for the city. He was doing a lot for the city, changing the game, making brand new music, brand new sound. And unfortunately, that happened to him. So rest in peace to Pop Smoke.
Okay. I'm actually another question. What could have been done to prevent King Von death?
I think there's a lot that could have been done to prevent King Von death. It's like what you said just recently. If you stick your head in the lines, then it's liable to get bit off. And I think that's what happened with King Von. Like King Von was a tough individual. He was a real individual. You could hear it in his music. You could see it by his walk, by the way he talk, how he act, his facial expression. I didn't know him, but I'm from the streets, and I could see when somebody's, you could real recognize real, and you could see that he was it, and he showed it. He was about it. It was some beef. He stepped to it, and the unfortunately the wrong thing happened, man. So rest in peace to King Von, his whole
Yeah.
family, and everything, man. It's just unfortunate situation for him.
Okay. Even right now, let's go deeper. Nipsey Russell.
Nipsey Hussle, I mean, I don't, I think it's a lot of things up in the air. Like I met Nipsey Hussle before. I lived in Cali while he was out there, and when I heard he got shot, I was in the car, and I couldn't believe that he got shot, because I'm like, wait, a blood or a Crip he's not into no really gang violence or nothing like that. He's trying to deplete that. He's trying to get that out the way and let people know that gangs ain't right and this, that, and the third. And it was coming from a gang member. So I don't know if it was a conspiracy against Nipsey, or if him telling somebody that they're a snitch, or a setup or anything. Like you don't know what happened to Nipsey. I think he was just doing some amazing things for his community and the world as a whole and everything. Like he was one of my favorite rappers, still is to this day. Like he like in my top 10 ever. So like I think that something happened that we don't know about with Nipsey, which was unfortunate. I think he was doing a lot, and he was building a huge following, not just music wise, just by him being the leader that he was. And we ain't see a rapper that was leading like him since probably Tupac, or what I mean, to be honest with you, because I was out there, and the things he was doing for his community was amazing. I ain't never see it before. So I think that he was just becoming a leader, sort of like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, but in a new era kind of way, in a rap to where the people that's from the bottom would follow him. Like he was being like a somewhat inbred father to these kids and showing them how to do it the right way. And the powers that be don't like that. So I don't know if it was that or if it was some gang violence or anything. Don't get me to quoting, but if you want to ask me, something foul happened to Nipsey Hussle.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying right now. But still, as we talk about these other guys, like you say, like all that, still like coming up with a solution to the problem to make that stop, to get these individuals to understand. Something somebody said right there, LH. He say that again. If you're shining around wolves, expect to be eaten. That's the rules of the street, period.
Yeah.
And that's what people got to understand. And even right now, Shanti D, King Von thought that he was still in Chicago. The difference is right now is it doesn't matter where you at. It's like right now, where it's like to me, if you carry yourself in a respectful manner or whatever, you got, like to me, like I always try to explain to people the way I carried myself back then. It's no defense for the element of surprise. And people didn't understand that. It's no defense. So you got to be prepared for all the unexpected.
Everything. Yeah.
So, right now, if you come and you apply yourself and you come and prepare for the unexpected, guess what? Nobody can sneak up on you. But when you go out and you just an area and you're not prepared, what can you expect, man?
Yeah.
What can you expect?
Yeah, you're right about that. And I want to go back to what D said, like what you just said about like the way you carry yourself. Because I lived in Cali and I used to go everywhere: Inglewood, Watts, Compton. Shout to Compton, my boys out in Compton, Park Village, Crips. It was a whole new culture out there that I wasn't used to. And like, shoot, one time like I almost got my ass kicked. You know what I mean? Like, ready somebody tried to disrespect me, and I didn't accept the disrespect, and I wanted to have a fight. And like they don't do fair ones. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm from Brooklyn. Disrespect is disrespect, but they don't do fair ones. And but how I handle myself, them dudes became my brothers afterwards. You know what I mean? The respect was like unmatched. Like, and they still my brothers today. Hardcore. Shout out to Bowack, shout out to Rocco, shout out to my boy New, shout out to everybody. But it's how you handle yourself. How you handle yourself is how you gonna get treated. And once you know who you are, you don't got to compromise yourself for stupid situations to try to look tough for somebody or try to be somebody that you're not once you know who you are.
Yeah. You got to have true identity of yourself. And I think that's the biggest problem. It's hard trying to be, saying somebody else when it's hard. Just as hard to be, saying yourself. And that's why everybody got to get back to the basic, man.
And
Anybody can be.
that's why hip hop is sounding like everybody's sounding the same because everybody's afraid to be who they self be they self because they feel they're not going to be accepted by being they self. That's why you hear the music sounding the same. That's why you hear everybody doing drill music. That's why you hear everybody sounding the same. Everything is so monotonous out here. And, they not knowing that they could change the game by being themselves. They could bring something new by being themselves. And that's why I choose to be myself, to be myself and do the music that I'm doing because it's me. And people going to identify with me more than they're going to identify the next person. Like I think I bring myself longevity. I'm able to do it for a while by being myself. But when you follow somebody else, it's just another person they're going to look for to replace you because you just sound just like this dude. As far as corporate hip hop is concerned and the business is concerned.
And that's the difference, like originality, being original, being yourself, being true to yourself. And a lot of times people don't understand. We used to use that terminology years ago, stop fronting.
Yeah.
There's no future in front. I'm not fronting.
Yeah.
That's who I am. No, you front so hard, you front so much that fronting become a part of you. Fronting is not you, but it become a part of you because it's an act. And that's the difference. And what we have to do is like put away that act and stop pretending and start being true to yourself. Get to understand like who you are, what you are, and what is your true purpose for being here. As long as you're able to see that and understand that and know that, then guess what? You're not going to set yourself up to fail. And that's what we do each and every day. When we don't do that, we setting ourselves up to fail. When we pretend to be something that we're not, we setting ourselves up to fail. So once again, you got to reach that point in time when you got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. Because if you ain't sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're going to keep doing the same thing. And what's going to happen? We're going to continue to have the state of hip hop and the state of emergency because of they trapped, they stuck. They don't want to listen. They don't want to understand. They don't want to learn from other people's mistakes. If you show me, if you go out first, and right now as they blasting out there, they shooting out there, you go out first and you go down. Yeah, I ain't going out there.
Yeah.
The difference is I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till the coast is clear. I'm not the type like shoot me. Anybody can be had, man. I can learn from other people's mistakes.
Anybody. And when you don't be original, you limit yourself. You don't know the heights you can take it to because once you try to be somebody else, you stuck there. You got to keep being somebody else. But when you be yourself, you can recreate So I advise people just find themselves and try to be yourself. It ain't even about being original. God made only one you, so you got to be that. And if you don't find that, you're gonna be stuck being somebody else, man. You're gonna be stuck being somebody else, or stuck trying to find that. You know, it took me years to find out who I was, but I withstood the test of time. I had to find out who I was, and when I found out who I was, I love myself. I adore myself. You know what I mean? Like, I love myself completely. So, and that's like one of the best feelings in the world. A lot of people don't get to feel that way. You understand what I'm saying? They don't get to that point, and I thank the God in me that I got to that point.
Hey, that's a blessing, man. Hey, shout out to my man James Brown. Shout out Mob Bus. Anybody can be touched. Being yourself is one of the greatest things anybody can do, and that's the difference, man. Like I say, so to me, to you, like I said, I love the interaction. I love, like I tell you right now, is like what you bring to the table. I think right now your moms and your grandparents and your pops and them did a great job, because once again, here it is. You have a direction. You know what I'm saying? You have a purpose. And that's the difference, man. And
Yeah,
like, watch your movement and what you're trying to do.
appreciate
And
that,
that's
man.
what I said right now is these are things that we got to continue to do, come on these platforms, and no yelling, no screaming, no cursing, no disrespect. And people don't understand that. What the sense of having, these platforms and what they doing, man, like belittling one another, like calling each other out, man. Nobody got time for that, man. What's up, BGG? My name is Floyd, aka Mr. Do you remember the Buccaneer Lord from Cyprus? Yes, vaguely. I remember the Buccaneer Laws. I remember that with let me see, the Sex Boys. The Sex Boys. That's good. That's go way back, man. He wasn't even born then, young man. He wasn't even born then. So like I said, what you want to add, man? Like, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap it up strong, man. How
I
can people,
want to
if
say,
I want to listen to your music, like
yeah.
I said right now, you know what? Better yet, let me, like I said right now, can you post a comment? You should be able to post a comment. Can you post a
Could
comment?
I don't know. I don't see it. I think you control that board, man. You
Okay, so the
control.
bottom line is right now,
Yeah.
if somebody want to listen to your music, give me something I can type in. Take your time so I can peck away, because I'm a pecker. I'm not a typer.
Right. You could go to well, my music is on all music platforms, but you could go if you want to check out visuals. Everybody love visuals. You could go to youtube.com, BK Cashmere, TCA.
Hold up. You two, okay. You say .com, right?
.com
Yeah, I got that.
slash
How many
slash
slash? One? Only one slash?
yeah, one slash,
Huh?
yeah, one slash
Okay, what else?
BK Cashmere.
EK Cash. Okay.
Yeah, BK Cashmere, TCA.
TCX,
TCA.
TCA.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay, that's
man.
it.
I also got a new album that's dropping probably like this week. Hopefully I get it to y'all New Year's. I mean Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. It's called Resilience. I just dropped my new single, Death of Mumble Rap is up there. The video is up there on the link that he just posted. My new single, We Living It, is up there. I threw a barbecue for the hood, fed the hood, free food, free liquor, free everything. Like, we shot a video, DJ was outside, everything. Y'all check that video out. It's called We Living It. Resilience is being stores this week, man. And I want to thank you for having me, man. I appreciate what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep striving to be better. And we're going to keep doing what we do, man.
You know what? Another thing I want to cover is this. You did a piece and it got like over 1 million views with Peter.
Yeah.
Give me the breakdown of that. Who's Peter and what y'all do?
Peter Santinello, man. Shout out to Peter Santinello. He's a great guy, one of my good friends right now. And shout out to his wife too, man. He came to the hood. My boy Poppy hit me up. He wanted to get a tour of East New York. And I wanted to like drive around, but he chose to like walk. We walked from like Eldest Lane, from Plaza Park all the way to Linden Boulevard, to the Boulevard houses, to Linden Boulevard, everywhere. And we just walked through East New York, Cypress, Plaza, everywhere. I wish I would have got pink houses. My bad, pink houses. You know what I mean? But we walked through the whole neighborhood, and he filmed everything. We spoke about it, and the joint got 2.2 million views in like 4 or 5 months. Y'all can go check it out. It's on YouTube. It's a great piece. It's like a documentary in East New York, you know, where I'm taking everybody through the
Yeah,
hood.
and what is that
Through the,
site if they want to check that out, man?
it's youtube.com/Peter Santinello.
Hold up, youtube.com/Peter
Peter, yeah,
Peters what
SANTELO.
ELO. Okay, so that's it.
Yeah, that's it, Peter Santinello. And you're gonna see a whole bunch of things that I just did something for people in Poland that got
But
like
what
550,000
was
views.
yours? What was your piece?
I got a whole documentary over there too in Poland showing a lot of love. They loving the
No,
music.
what is a piece on YouTube Peter got with you? We got 2.2 million
Yeah,
views.
2.2 million views. It's called Life in the East New York Project. So it
Life.
got 2.2 million views in like 5 months, and it's steadily growing heavy. So shout out to Peter Santinello, man. He got a whole bunch of views. He's like one of the biggest YouTubers in the world. So
Life
shout
in
out
East
to
New
him.
York, what? Life in ENY or East New
Yeah,
York?
Life in ENY.
Okay.
Yeah. So y'all go check that out. And the new album is dropping. It's gonna be great. Y'all love it. People know who I am, man. I appreciate all the love that all my fans are showing too, man. I appreciate it, man. Shout out to y'all. Salute to y'all. I appreciate everything, man, because I'm living off my name and I love it, man. And I'm just striving and doing good. And shout
But
out to
see,
you, Glaze.
no, you know what? Like I told you, man, anytime, like I say, energy, everything's about energy. If you, to me, you never get a second opportunity to make a first impression. So your energy was powerful. Your energy was clean. Your energy was legit. And like I said right now, is I know your mom's or whatever, you mean your mom's sixth grade classmate. So that's the difference. So anytime, like, when we talk about like what's going on with the hip hop community, that's the difference, man. That's what's up touring the BKY said, okay? Right now, as Janine say, BK Cashmere, continue the great success in your career. Peace. Floyd Mackey, do you know Michael Elder? I was from Milford Street and Blake Avenue. I can't say I do, man. But that's what it's all about. Like how. Hey, thanks for subscribing. Muhammad said that he subscribed to your page or whatever. But
Appreciate it.
once again,
Appreciate
folks,
it.
like,
Everybody go sub, man. Go sub. I got about 4 new videos dropping too once the
all right.
album drops. So y'all go sub. It's great content, great music. Y'all go sub and go check it out. Trust me, you're gonna love it.
But even right now, what's Death of a Mumble Rapper? What is that about, man?
Death of mumble rap is basically what we talking now, like to get all of that negativity out the music and telling you how, like, like the powers that be is helping us destroy our culture. You know what I mean? So death for mumble rap is like death for all of that mumble stuff that's on the radio and everything that's not just mumble rap per se, but just saying mumble hip hop that's not saying nothing, period. Hip hop that's knocking us off our tier, period. Like it's time to put an end to that and speak the real and speak the truth on what's really going on out here. Even though people are speaking the truth, some people are. Shout out to J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Drake. You still got your Jay-Z's and Nas. Nas' new albums is speaking the truth and everything, but we need more of it. It's not too many people that's talking like that. So I just tried to set the tone and not diss mumble rappers or diss people not saying that. I'm just saying like, let some of this real, sort of like what Nipsey Hussle was saying, let some of this real stuff come in and let us speak to the youth and give us the spotlight for a second and let us reconstruct the culture.
Let me ask you a question, man. You know what? Kick a verse for me kick your best verse, man. Let me see. Kick your verse first. Let me see. Like, I'm old school. I don't know. Like right now is like, let me
Oh
listen to what
man.
you got to say. Then I'm like, yo, man, I gotta get this, man. Oh,
You
this stuff
said
is
kick,
hot.
kick. I'm gonna kick. See, I'm gonna kick something that's off top of the head or something, like, you know what I mean?
Okay, I'm
Like
listening.
not saying no
I'm
freestyle, but
listening.
I'm just gonna kick a. I'm just
I'm
gonna kick
listening.
a verse. You know what I mean? What you know about
No, no,
chilling?
no. Go ahead. Go
What?
ahead. Go ahead.
You stop me? I'm ready to go.
Go, 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 go.
All right, what you know about chilling with World and Club Envy? Fast forward up on Myrtle, he tried to end me. Up in LV in the building, chilling with Wise. When we started manhood, we was really selling them pies. Up in the studio, nigga, we counting millions. Up in Fort Street and Clayton's made us a killing. Fast forward up in Charlotte, hustling heroin. Selling weight to E from Cyprus. He up in jail again. Word to 2 times acts. Sent 2 times, man. That worked so good. He had to cop 2 times. Reminiscing, talking to just laid back in the eye. 30. spit my ass off the first time that he heard me. They wanted to be Tut. I wanted to be Ken Do on some Biggie shit, nigga. Give me the loot, give me the loot. Me and J. Ortiz chilling up in the P's, sipping blue Hawaiians, fucking bitches with ease. I'm a legend in my hood. How y'all fronting on me? I am the East. Y'all ain't got nothing on me. Got not. Never snitched, took losses, never bitch. They hate to see a nigga like me win. They sick. Go ropes around my neck. Got me hanging these dudes. From Brooklyn, but being Compton, where they ganging these dudes. That's word to PV. I be with them real G's. Ask Roddy Rich if I be up in his P's. Now I'm back, nigga. Let's talk about it. They don't want this smoke. I put some chalk around them. I've been the best. Yeah, homie. Who won it? Notorious. That Brooklyn bullshit. We on it. Niggas know my name. Stop fronting. Haters try to stop my shine, but that's nothing. See, I'm still on my grind. Y'all fronting. Turn you rappers into commentators. Joe Buttons. I'm going to stop right there, man.
All right. Okay. See,
Yeah,
well, everybody,
man.
you getting some love on there. You getting some love on there, you know? So to me, that's what it's all about. Having a platform, getting people out there, whatever. Ask her, do he remember Mr. Odell called? Okay. But listen, this is what I'm going to do. See, I'm not a rapper, but I'm going to whip you right quick, man.
Yeah,
Good evening,
man.
brother. Come on
better
now.
not be nobody else's, man.
You interrupted me, man? You interrupted me? A good evening, everybody. So glad you're here. All the people in the front and the people in the red. When you came to the door, you expected to see a Brian Glaze Gibbs rock the ceremony. Now catch the beat. Boom, 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 boom. So sweet, you know. And listen, folks, thank y'all for joining me. Like I said now, shout out to BK Cashmere.
Yeah,
Listen,
man.
Get your signed copy. Get your signed copy of the Young Lucky book by emailing me, Brian, Brian Gibbs, Gibbs 1201 at yahoo.com. Listen, peace, love, and prosperity. If I can change, anybody can change. Because you know why? Change comes within. And it's all about right now is, man, listen, how do we get back to the basic, man? How do we get our culture back? How do we get our rap, I'm saying, back and get it back on a positive track and get away from all that killing? You know what I'm saying? That self-destruction. Like Kumo D say, listen, man, here it is. I never had to run from the Ku Klux Klan. So why should I have to run from a black man? Stop the black on black crime. Peace, love, and prosperity. You know why?
Resilience to be in stores, man. Y'all go check it out, man. Peace and love to everybody that joined in.
BK,
man, shout out to Brian.
I'm gonna hit you with another line, man. I'm gonna hit you with another line.
Yeah,
one love, one love. You're lucky just to get this. One love.
One love, everybody.
All right. Peace, man. Peace.